This movie begins like all movies from the early 2000s, with two sexy teenagers making out at a party on the beach. When the girl named Anna gets upset and leaves, she storms off from the party and heads out into the forest. Strangely, she stumbles across several plastic bags out in the woods, half buried in the ground. When she approaches them, multiple severed limbs fall out and startle her into rushing home. When she gets there, her mother is laying on a sickbed of the family outhouse, so she races to find her father for help. When she gets to the main home, the house explodes as soon as she enters, cutting to present day as she explains this bizarre dream to a therapist. She believes that her dead mother is trying to contact her through her dreams to tell her something important. In response, the therapist just brushes her dreams aside as he explains how she was traumatized as a child in a tragic fire. While she can't remember the specific details, her mother was sadly killed in the accident. He concludes that she needs to move on with her life and that she should be sent home. While Anna is shocked to hear this, she happily runs out of the room as we learn she has been living at a psychiatric institute. All smiles and ready to go, one of the other inmates suddenly appears behind her and grabs her by the wrists. She taunts her before leaving, but Anna still rushes out of the building to greet her father. Being a good guy, he surprises her with gifts on the ride home, and she races around the house in happiness. While she is happy to be there, she is most excited to see her sister Alex. She runs through the house looking for her, only to accidentally bump into her father's new girlfriend, Rachel. Rachel was previously the deceased mother's nurse, so the encounter is every bit as awkward as you can imagine. Excusing herself, she then walks down to the outhouse her mother died in. Clearly still traumatized, she snaps out of her daze when she reunites with her big sister, Alex. While the two of them catch up, Alex is upset that Anna never responded to any of her letters. Confused, they realize that it was the father who refused to send them, lying to both the kids. They conclude it was probably because of his new girlfriend. Anna then walks around the house noting all the new changes, causing her to wander up to the attic, where all the previous belongings are kept in storage. She looks at old photos of her mother, noting that Nurse Rachel is standing in the background. That evening, Anna wakes from her sleep when she hears a bell ringing outside her door. It sounds eerily similar to one her mother used to wear around her wrist, and she is startled when a ghostly apparition climbs onto her bed. Terrified, she is startled awake to find it was only a dream. The next morning, the two sisters are hanging out in the kitchen when Rachel enters the room to say hello. Clearly disapproving of her, they make a few rude comments before heading down to the lake for some sisterly bonding. After some time passes, a boat suddenly pulls up with Anna's old boyfriend riding up to say hello. Alex excuses herself to give them some alone time, but the conversation quickly turns awkward as the boyfriend Matt reveals some startling information. The night of the accident, he went over to check on Anna after their fight at the beach. He claims he saw everything, but is interrupted when Rachel appears and interrupts them. Halting the conversation, he looks uncomfortably at Rachel before he jumps back in his boat and drives off into the fog. That evening, Anna is annoyed when she sees her father warming up to Rachel on the couch. Excusing herself, she walks upstairs to notice that a shadow is moving under the door of her father's office. When she enters, she starts to have flashbacks when she hears her mother's bell ringing from the outhouse. Walking down to explore the building, she is shocked when the ghastly corpse of her mother crawls out from behind a corner. She seems to be screaming the words, "Burn her," until her sister bursts into the room to check on the screaming. Apparently, her mother is trying to tell her something, and they start to suspect that their father's new girlfriend may have had something to do with the fire. The next day, Anna and Rachel head into town to do some shopping. Although clearly suspicious, hopes to run into her boyfriend Matt to learn more about what happened that night. They sit down at a coffee shop to chat, but Anna starts spacing out as she has another vision connected to her mother. This time, she sees several dead children sitting at the counter, while Rachel tries to connect with her. Noticing Matt outside walking into a convenience store, she excuses herself to go speak with him alone. They then agree to meet that evening, as clearly the information is a secret. That night, Anna and her sister sneak out to go meet with Matt. They wait for him by the water, but to their surprise, he doesn't show up. Returning home and deeply concerned, Anna is surprised when Matt shows up in the middle of the night, crawling through the window to her bedroom. He is soaked in water and tells Anna that he is afraid. When she tries to console him, he tells her that her mother tried to warn him, but he didn't listen. He then starts convulsing and begging for help as Anna races out of the room. When she goes back inside, she realizes it was all a dream. The next morning, she notices that a helicopter is circling the ocean nearby her home. When she goes to see what is happening, she looks on in horror as the dead body of Matt is fished out of the water. The local sheriff comes over to speak with them after the accident, explaining that Matt must have slipped off his boat and broken his back. Terrified, she realizes that Rachel must have overheard their conversation from the convenience store. Not sure what to do next, Alex and Anna begin calling old nursing institutions to gather information on Rachel. To their surprise, they realize that there is no actual record of Rachel being a nurse. While her social security number is real, they have no idea who the woman is that is living in their home. Feeling triumphant, Anna confronts Rachel with this new information, only for Rachel to chuckle and reveal her true colors. She threatens that if Anna says anything, she will be right back in the mental hospital where she belongs. That night, the family holds a dinner party with several guests as the tension between Anna and Rachel starts to heat up. When Anna goes to take out the garbage, she accidentally drops some food that rolls under the stove. Getting down on the ground to clean it up, the dead body of a child pops out from beneath the cabinets, claiming that Anna is next. Scared out of her mind, she then bumps the table and knocks the dinner onto the floor. When Rachel walks in, she is enraged as the dinner party is now ruined. The father then walks in and angrily ends the dinner party early. Anna tries to explain to her dad what she knows about Rachel, but he brushes it off as nothing. He then reveals that he plans to marry her, but Anna is disgusted at the thought. Later that week, they attend Matt's funeral, where Anna has another vision of a dead child walking through the crowd. She follows the little girl into a field where she sees a vision of 3 gravestones, all with the name Wright. Doing some research, the 2 sisters find that the Wright children were all killed by a woman named Mildred Kemp. She used to work as the nanny of the 3 kids, but murdered them when she became obsessed with the children's widowed father. When they look at photos of the mother, she realized that she is wearing the same clothing that Rachel owns. That night, the 2 of them sneak through the house to find Rachel. When Anna goes to grab her car keys, she hears a loud thump from upstairs. She finds Rachel waiting for her in the bedroom, and the 2 of them fight in a struggle. Barely managing to escape, she then finds her sister Alex barely conscious in the bedroom. She is laying on the ground, having been drugged by Rachel. With her last words before falling unconscious, she makes her sister promise to bring proof of Rachel's sinister plot to the police. Rushing to the car, she races to the police station to discuss her theory with a local detective. To her surprise, and to be honest, the surprise of the audience, he actually listens to her theory and tells her he will help. Finally, getting some justice, she lays down on the couch where she dozes off. Awakening in the night, she looks over to see both Rachel and the detective standing over her. They then pin her to the couch, where they inject her with an anesthetic, shattering all hope of justice, and making me take back my comment from just a moment ago. Anna is then carried back to her room by Rachel, where she awaits her fate. While the 2 of them chat, they don't notice as Alex quietly sneaks into the room behind them. Hours later, Anna suddenly wakes up from the room, surprised to even be alive. Unfortunately, she opens the door to find a huge trail of blood leading from her bedroom down to an outside dumpster. When she opens it, she sees the dead body of Rachel sitting in the dumpster and her sister holding a bloody knife. At this exact moment, their father then shows up and is shocked to see the 2 of them covered in blood. They confront their father with the facts, but he stops the conversation when he reveals that Anna's sister Alex has been dead for over a year. She died in the fire that killed their mother, as the camera zooms out to reveal Anna holding a bloody knife. She is covered in blood after killing Rachel. She then reveals what really happened the night of her mother's death. After returning home from the party, she finds her father cheating on her mother with Rachel. Feeling betrayed, she rushes down to the outhouse to fill a tank of gasoline to burn her house down. But by accident, she leaves the gas tank running, which then explodes, killing both her mother and her sister. The entire time, she had been hallucinating her sister's presence, along with her boyfriend Matt. In truth, she is a dangerous schizophrenic who then proceeded to kill both Rachel and Matt. In the final scene of the movie, we see as Anna is led into the back of a police car and taken back to the mental hospital. She cuts the face of Rachel out of her family photos, and the camera zooms in on the name tag of her roommate across the hall, a woman named Mildred Kemp. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out when you do that. And of course, check out the other videos if you like watching recaps.